Hello everyone, and welcome to the final episode of Monsters of the Mind. I'm your host for today, Eric. And yeah, basically, just recently, Mr.G, Vincent, and a bunch of other people fell right into the nightmare realm after some sort of surprise attack went wrong or something. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. And now everyone's fighting each other. It's actually pretty cool to look at, but unfortunately, we don't have the budget to show us such a fight scene, so I guess I'll just have to distract you guys from our lack of budget, I guess. But seriously, a lot of people are here. We ended up freeing a bunch of people. The skeleton guy in a robe came down. Yeah, it's pretty intense, I might say so myself. But enough about the semantics or whatever. Let's just get to this final episode. Our final subject for this series is the Headless Horseman. Now, before we continue, it might seem odd that I'm the one hosting the finale, but Mr. G's off fighting, so, yeah. Now, the Headless Horseman, as his name is described, is a horseman who's described as being headless. I mean, obviously, why would he be called the Headless Horseman if he wasn't a headless guy who rode a horse? I mean, duh, just think about it. As for why he doesn't have a head, apparently he was like a war veteran and he lost it in the war or something like that. I don't know. Now he haunts a bunch of places looking for a head or something. Oh yeah, and sometimes he throws pumpkins at you. His most famous story, from what I can tell, is a story called Sleepy Hollow or something like that. Apparently it's in, like, New York or something. I mean, that's the last place I would call sleepy, but what do I care? But what do I know? I'm just a stupid little YouTuber, so what do I know about New York? Anyway, in this story, there's this guy named Ichibode or something, and he's riding his horse one night, but then he comes across the Headless Horseman and he kills him or something like that. But then the end reveals that it wasn't actually the Headless Horseman, and it might have been a guy in disguise or something. I don't know, old literature's weird like that, you know? It just seems like sometimes they just like ambiguous endings. But quite frankly, I hate ambiguous endings. Why can't every ending just be clear-cut? That's the way I like it. Why doesn't anyone else seem to like it? But no, these ambiguous endings are the ones that get all the awards and stuff. Ooh, so cool. But besides that, the Headless Horseman is still a very famous figure. And, maybe he's in New York? I don't know. Well, I guess now would be a good time to look at the card. Maybe. You know, it claims he's a Revolutionary War veteran, but that doesn't look like Revolutionary War garb. I don't know if I should deduct points for that, though. Mr. G doesn't like it when I deduct points for things like that. And hey, wait a minute, I thought he was supposed to be headless. He clearly has his head there. Why doesn't this dumb guy just put it back on if he already has his head right there? Seriously, he has his head right there. Just put it on and save yourself the slack. Sheesh, and I thought I was stupid. This guy has his head right here, but yet he claims he's headless. Sheesh. Now, as for pop culture, he's been in some of those things, like he was in that one Disney movie about the itchy bog and the toad or something like that. I don't know. Apparently it was made during World War II, so who cares? Well, that's all for this episode of Monsters of the Mind. Join us next time when, oh wait, the series is over. Oh, and look, I think they defeated him. I stab at thee, you stupid shadow demon! No! No. He's finally dead. Well, I mean, I severed him from his host, so he's not really dead. He just no longer has a body to possess right now. Granted, his host also died, R.I.P. to whoever that was, but does anyone really care? I don't think so. Well, Vincent, looks like this is goodbye. It was fun while it lasted, but everything must change eventually, so yeah. Don't sweat it. You were a good host. I had a lot of fun making this series, and it was nice to actually have someone to talk to who wasn't a monster for once. I just wonder what happened to the gem. Don't worry, I'm sure the genies sent it to somewhere safe where it'll never be able to harm anyone again, but who knows? What I do know is, we'll hopefully won't have to deal with him for a long time. Well, goodbye, Vincent. May our paths cross again some other day. And so, now that the boogeyman was defeated, Vincent had no further use on this channel, and so Mr. G, Catherine, and Eric all returned home. And thanks to the effort of Vincent and Mr. G, everyone was able to return home safe and sound. Everyone who was trapped in the shadow dimension finally managed to get out, and overall, everyone's life had improved ever since they had been freed. So, I guess that means that this story is a happily ever after. The end. Oh, by the way, remember how Bigfoot was in this series? 'Cause I don't. Man, that was a stupid decision I made.